Hey, T. It seemed like you guys had control of that game. You're up 7 in the last final minutes, and then I want to say you went like, as a team, 1 for 7 shooting down the stretch. Just what happened during that period?
We just got to figure a way to close the game off. Get a couple stops. That process, you figure out how to get a stop, win the game. And hats off to them guys. They play a really good offensive team. Their big man is really good. He had 26, and the other point guard is really steady. He had 24. So it's just us getting stops. That's the biggest thing.
And then obviously for yourself and this offense, you had a big night scoring. As a team, though, what's going on offensively?
We're gonna stay locked into the gym. Things like this happen when we have slow starts, and I know that these dudes work on the game a lot. So the ball is just not bouncing our way into hoop right now, but I think eventually it'll change.
When you came here, you knew this team was coming off a real hard season last year. Is it going to take a while, even though there's so many new faces, to just finally, get into the winning mode? Because you played hard, which was the first step, but you didn't get the reward.
All these dudes in this team wants to win the game. That's the main goal. That's what we talked about all the time. In the locker room, we're really, tight group, and we always talk about, making that NCAA push, by winning games, but it takes one game at a time. So, we're going to, go to the drawing board before we go to South Dakota and figure this out.
Dejan and Jamal are better shooters than what they've shown so far. Is it just a lack of confidence with those guys? What's going on?
No, I believe in them. They believe in themselves. Like I said, we're going to go back to the drawing board, and figure it out. We know they can shoot. They can shoot the screen or the cover off the ball, like Jamal, Dejan. So they'll be fine.
On the last play, you had the ball, tie game. Just if you could sort of take me through that play and just the things that you wanted to do and what kind of came up short there.
I saw a double team come up I'm facing, so it came up the left side, and I seen him and he kind of slipped and stumbled, and that was just a misread for myself because the big kind of like hesitated towards me and then went back, and I shot a floater unprepared to go straight to the basket, and I knew this is a mistake by myself. I knew he was in foul trouble, and I knew he didn't want to get his foul out like that way, so I should have went strong to the basket and finished it. But that was just a misjudgment by myself.
Overtime, did you ask to defend Graham there? Because obviously you were on him and he picked up his 5th foul there, and I'm not sure how you got on him, but how did that happen?
That was just our press. I think we just pressed those guys, and then that's just how the matchup came about.
Just what is the mindset of this team now? Obviously you're 2-2. Just what's going on inside of the locker room now?
It's a work in progress. We're together. We're united. We made a pact to each other that nothing's going to get in our way of outside voices or anything like that. So that's just the biggest thing. We're going to stay together throughout the season, good and bad. It'll be too easy to say everything's going to go good and then we face some adversity later on and then lose. So it's good to have these losses now that we can see and learn from, and then hopefully down the line that we go on the other end of this.
All right.
Second half there, you seem to have control of the game, and then I want to say you went 1 for 7 on your shots the rest of the way. Just what happened during that stretch?
Well, there was one, they did a good job. They went zone, and I think that we didn't score in 4 or 5 straight possessions. I thought that hurt us. We had a breakdown defensively where we went over a screen and they hit a 3 when it was up 6. And but as soon as they went zone, we've been playing our small lineup, and that's what was giving them troubles. They went zone, and we weren't able to get great shots. That's what happened.
if there's any characteristics in these first 4 games, it's going back to the offense and just trying to get consistent production from your offense, other than Terrell. Just how do you coax that?
Listen, when you watch the film, I mean, it's hard to win. It puts a lot of pressure on your defense when you're shooting 32% from the field, 19% from the three-point line, and 65% from the foul line. You're going to go. I felt like in the first half, it was a little bit, we shot it too quick. When teams are kind of daring you to shoot, you got to move it, you got to get some movement, you got to get your big guys near the glass. And then, we kept telling the guys, try to get in the paint before we shoot a 3, just so it's like it's an energy shot in rhythm. And, we believed that was going to be this best solution, and we just couldn't knock down enough shots. In every area of the game, turnovers 20-5 us, paint 40-40, second chance 19-12 us, fast break 9-2 us. It was the foul line. We put them on the foul line a lot, and then we weren't able to make enough shots.
You talked about the extended minutes for Cole Batchman.
You know what, we felt tonight that the way that they were going to play, that they were going to be able to, we were going to be able to get some open shots, and other guys got into foul trouble. We got into a situation early, Dejan got into foul trouble, Nate Roberts got into foul trouble, Emmett got into foul trouble, and that's the way that they were playing and being in the man-to-man. We weren't able to defend without fouling, and it put us at, that's why those lineups were in there.
With Dejan and Jamal, at times it just looks like they're just not real confident with their shot. What's going on with those two? Because I know they're better than what they're playing.
I felt like Dejan's really been shooting the ball well, and in practice he made that one in rhythm. It goes back to, just taking the right ones. I'd love to see him get in the paint more. You look at the assists, he's one of the best point guards, I believe, around, and we keep having the same guy getting 3 and 4 assists. We need some assists from everybody else. It needs to be a shared game plan. And again, I don't think he can play a lot better. Emmett can play a lot better. Jamal can play better. Our team can play a lot better. I mean, that's just the bottom line. You can't. It's hard to win when you're shooting 32 and 19 from 3.
The ref explained to you, he teed Emmett Matthews up, and I never heard what he did on that. And
they had said both of them kind of had a confrontation. It was a double technical, so it was offset, but it became a personal foul with each player.
Mike, you're always pretty animated, that's you out there, but you seem like you took it up a little in the first half. I almost thought you were going to check into the game. You're sitting on the floor talking to your guys.
I think the coach was complaining about me being on the floor. Sometimes I don't know where I'm at.
And that's how you call a quick timeout. You just feel like it's time to kind of get a message out once in a while?
I think the biggest thing is just getting these guys, you got to play, we're new, you got to play, every possession matters, and sometimes, again, how we communicate and how we play, you're just trying to kind of give your energy to them in a tough way. When you got guys like Quincy Pondexter and Will Conroy who have hearts bigger than the size of the state, you're trying to have everybody rub that off on your player sometimes when they might not have it to the level that you want them to have it. And so it's all in a positive way, just trying to get them to really compete. And we believe, like early in the game, I mean, both those guys, I think, had 30-something of their, halftime points, or what they have, 14 and 13, 27 of their 37. And we got to get, not breaking down and being able to take on that one-on-one type of competition, and just trying to infuse energy. And our crowd was great. For the fans that were there when we had to get stops and stuff, our crowd was great. I think they really helped elevate us. Unfortunately, we just came a little short.
It seemed like tonight you guys played a lot of the man, but with Ike, but with him inside, did you consider maybe playing more zone because he was a real difficult matchup for you?
Yeah, we just felt, one of the things, another thing, we always like to defend the three-point line, and we only gave up 3 threes. And we believe in some instances against some teams, it's easier to defend in a man-to-man in terms of taking away the 3, as well as you're in a better rebounding situation because you're in a man and box out. And we just felt that that was the best way to play Wyoming. If, studying Wyoming, the coach he's got a really good offensive system. They've got two guys that they play through. They've got two exceptional shooters that I thought we did a really good job. They made the one, which was a big one when we were up 6. But for us, to me, it came down to, they were +5 in terms of made foul shots, and then we've got to make a couple shots. It's a fine line, but we missed some bunnies, we missed some ones right there that hopefully next game we don't miss.
Langston hadn't played a lot of basketball before he got here.
Mm-hmm.
It looks like you're asking him to do a lot of different things. How's he taking to everything that you're asking him to do?
It's hard, but the biggest thing that we want Langston to do is bring major energy. And when you have a bench that you can kind of infuse energy, a couple of these games, Langston and PJ came in and they just changed how our athleticism and our speed and those types of things. And this might be a record, 12 rebounds in 19 minutes. That's a heck of a stat. And so, he was productive in the minutes that he played, and that's what we're going to need. The problem with him a little bit against a bigger guy like that is the guy is so physical. That's a big deal. But, every night it's going to be somebody else. Cole played 32 minutes tonight. And, hopefully we can make some shots in these next games.
At the end there, did you measure going to Jackson? Because he did have a couple of nights.
You know what? When we made the decision, it was more so. On the offensive end, I felt like Langston was going to be better on the offensive glass. I felt like, even when they went zone, I felt like he's a guy you can throw the lob to behind, which stretches the defense out a little bit. We didn't execute the way we needed to, but yeah, I kept thinking of Jackson. I just felt like Langston was in the flow of the game, and he knew what was kind of happening, and he was making some plays.
Oh, and then there's after these sort of first 4 games here at home, just your thoughts on kind of where you guys are before you head to the tournament.
Well, I think right now, defensively, we're going to pose some problems because we got multiple defenses. Our press was pretty good tonight again. We forced 17 turnovers, which was huge. We're going to need that. We're trying to generate points outside where we can get some easy baskets. We're going to have to make some shots. It's like I said before. We defended the 3. We did everything that we believed that we had to do to win. We fouled a little bit too much, and I know we didn't take all great shots, but for the most part, we're going to have to make some more. That's just what it is.
Points of emphasis in practice before you head out on the road.
Well, we're gonna get some reps in our zone. We're gonna have to work on our post defense in those situations. Not too many people play that way, but we're gonna get a lot of shots. Like you could run the best offense if you get an open shot and you miss it. It's we're gonna get a lot of shots, and we have good shooters. We have good shooters. We have guys that could really make them. And then on the flip side, I think offensively we're getting to the foul line, and that's what got us back in the game and was winning. And then they went zone, and we had a certain lineup in that didn't execute against the zone.